So in my work, I get asked all the time, what's the difference between a therapist, a counsellor, a consultant, and a coach? Surely they're all the same thing, right? Wrong. There is a distinct difference between those professions in that, yes, they all serve people. They're all about getting people to live a better life and at home and at work. But in terms of the way in which they approach the client and the situation, there's a real big difference. And I wanted to share a really lovely story with you that I think will help define the difference between a counsellor, a consultant, and a coach. So here's the story. A client wants to learn how to ride a bike. So a counsellor will ask the client to approach the bike and to help them understand their fears, their anxieties, or any past experiences they've had with the bike or previous bikes. A consultant will get on the bike, ride the bike, and ask the clients to watch as they ride the bike and give a step-by-step action plan about how the client can now learn to ride the bike on their own. A coach, however, will ask the client to approach their bike, mount the bike, and the coach will mount their own bike, and the coach will join the client on their journey. Now, through their journey, sometimes a client will stop and say, I don't want to be here anymore. The coach will be there to remind the client of why they wanted to be on the bike in the first place and where they were heading to. Sometimes the client might fall off the bike. The coach will be there to help them understand, what are they learning while they've fallen? What have they done so far to be here? And finally, when a client gets to their destination, a coach will be there to help them to celebrate, because so often we do amazing things in our lives and we never celebrate. We never actually take stock of what we've had to do to get there. And equally, if a client might want to change route, a coach will be there to remind them of what they've learned and what was important about changing that route for them. So hopefully you can now see the distinct difference between a consultant, a counsellor, and a coach, in that they all serve different purposes and they're all needed in different ways depending on the client and what the client is dealing with at the time. But there is a distinct difference and a distinct come from place. So I'm hoping that little bike analogy will help those of you who have been questioning it for a while to understand a bit better the difference between a counsellor, a consultant, and a coach.